Yo, what's up guys, it's me, Ryan Dino, Orson here today, and today guys, I want to talk to you guys about, so some of my friends, they recently are getting the game, or it's like they're downloading it. Some of my older friends who I played Siege with, that maybe you guys know if you watch some of my older videos, where I play with some different groups of people. But yeah, anyways, they always ask me, like, what role should I pick? Like, what do I want to do? And I'm like, well, how is your place? Like, let's just I'll go over, like, the different styles. Like, you have the aggressive playstyle, where you want to get in there, do damage, get picks, so that they're at a disadvantage. So then you can be up 6-5 or up 6-4. And then they're like, well, like, or I tell them, or do you want to be more of, like, a kind of, like, over time, like damage over time, where you want to be playing something like where you want to be more focused on getting like more, like the more of the shots you, like instead of being a huge getting in there, you want to be in the back line and kind of get poke damage? Or do you want to be playing or do you want to like, or are you more of like going to be kind of like a person, well, that's like a tank? You want to be the one taking all the hits, the one taking all the hits, and kind of like being like a punching bag, basically? Or do you want to be something like, I don't know, or do you want to be something where, or do you want to kind of like be the person keeping your team alive, be like that super squishy where you have like probably like 150 to 200 HP, just so that you can keep your team alive most of the time? And like they tell me, well, I don't, and then I get in, and I guess we'll start with I guess I'll discuss tank right now, and then like I'll have two more videos, one for DPS, one for healer, then I'll move it on to like hit scan, off healers, main healers, or and or and then I'll go with tanks with off tanks, main tanks, hit scans, and high damage and all that type of stuff. But I guess today we'll start off with, let's go with the different tanks. So there's off tanks and main tanks. The off tanks, what they do are basically, well, wait, I believe I said yeah, the off tanks, they're basically people who don't really have, they don't need to protect the whole team. What their main objective is to get kills, get as many kills as they can, do much, and kind of like try to get damage off. So if like if our damage is playing, if you're going off of like tick damage, where like it's over time, like they'll get lower and lower and they won't realize it until they really need it. You could be running like, or you could be running like a Hog Zarya, where Hog, when like he's basically a human punching bag who can heal himself and has a hook where he can one shot certain people like Mercy, Tracer, I believe Ashe, not Junkrat, but like people who are like it might be 200 or below, or 150 below. I don't know. I don't really know because I don't play Hog that much, but I do play him. But what he'll do is he'll toss his hook out, then he'll end up basically taking that hook, and then he'll bring you towards him, and what you'll do is just get shot, and you'll get one shot, or you'll get one hit, or he'll try to pull you off the map, or he'll do a bunch of different stuff. It's different. Or you have tank like D.Va, which basically she can kind of boot people away. Like she's there for like kind of flying in, getting in there, doing tick. Her shotguns aren't that powerful. Like she does good tick damage. Like the rockets are there for like extra damage. She basically has she kind of can stop ultimates. Like if there's a Reaper, what some divas forget to do is, from what I see in Bronze and Silver, is that they don't put their defense matrix into a Reaper ult. Because if you put that in the Reaper ult, he can't do anything unless he's still moving. Like, if he just stands still, which isn't going to be the thing, but if you get trapped in a defense matrix, which, well, it'll trap all your shots and keep your team from getting annihilated. But if you're playing, or what you're able to do, you can eat ultimates with D.Va. Like you can eat the pulse bomb, the graviton. Pulse bomb, that isn't that bad for you because you can get it pretty fast with Tracer. But if you lose that Graviton Surge to her, oh god, that's big on their end, because then with that being gone, that's a whole... She's got like Zarya's got one of the most expensive ultimates in the game to get, and when you get it, it's a big win with team fights. But yeah, that's a expensive ultimate. Then you have... And then she can also eat May's ultimate before it hits the ground and does stuff to the whole team. But what it'll do is cover, like, it'll freeze you, the Blizzard, but she can eat Blizzard. And if she eats Blizzard, that's another... But you can get that all pretty fast because it's DPS ult. But really, it's annoying when you lose it. And then let's see here, you have... There's also... What else you can do is... Yeah, kind of like blocks bullets. You can't block a D.Va bomb, sadly. Like, I wish... Like, if I could, I'd love to be able to have, like... I wish Blizzard would make it so that if you trap D.Va's bomb in the defense matrix, it would only damage you. That's how I believe it should. I know that's broken and shouldn't happen at all, but it'd be a cool concept to see that it would even work well with the game, because it kind of keeps the main tanks from having to have their shield up every single time. Like, I know Zarya's bubbles will block it. It does 40 like, if you're up close and both bubbles hit it right before the end and then they explode, it'll do a certain amount of damage so that she can get up to 100% and start melting people with her primary fire. And now let's move on to Zarya. What Zarya is able to do, what she's able to do is she's got her abilities are just 2 bubbles. And what they do is, over time, if the enemies are hitting them, over time you'll gain over damage. And really don't want to use that thing, her primary fire. It's just a singular beam. Don't use it unless you're over like 40, 50%. 100% it just melts people. And you don't want to be using these things where it's like, oh, boom, boom, oh, they won't shoot. And if they don't shoot you, they don't shoot you. It's like, then you kind of get extra time. But like, what you're able to do is, if like your healer is getting focused, boom, put it on your healer, and then they do damage. And they give Zarya a charge. Or if they start having a Reaper Junkrat, you can get splash damage off where it adds on. Like, you can get hit and then get splash damage where it'll do even more for your team, for you to get higher picks. And then... Let's see, who else is there? Honestly, Winston, he's kind of like a main off tank. Like, he's there to, like, he's really there to go into the back line. He's not there for you to just sit behind his shield, because that really isn't what it's there for. But, like, what you're able to do is, with Winston, you get into their back line, you take out the healers. Because it's Tesla, like, if you could trap more than, like, 1, 2... I believe you can trap up to 3 people in it, and you just do consistent damage, because Genji can't block it, D.Va can't do anything about it, and the bubbles are really the only things that can stop it. Reinhardt's shield gets completely... It goes through his shield, basically, so, you know, he's really powerful. And let's see here, what else? He has his jump, which if you can angle yourself higher up so that you can get farther, you can get a higher leap. So when you get slammed down, it doesn't do any increased damage. But like, what it'll do is you can get like a more, like, what it'll do is just give you more mobility to like figure out where you want to go for like a few seconds, like an instant, and just see how close you want to get. And then his ultimate, basically, it doesn't really do anything. Like, mainly what you do is you can boot people off the map, or you can basically take them and trap them in a corner and constantly do damage to them in there. Yeah, it's not really good at all. I wish they would change it to something, like, it's decent, but I wish they would make it better. And then, let's see here. Yeah, Winston, D.Va, Zarya, Roadhog. Oh, Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball, you just play him like Tracer Sombra, just be a pain in the butt. Like, just go behind them and take damage off them. You get damage off them for a little bit, so that the healers kind of have to focus it on. Just get behind them, slam them in the air, then use your mines, so then they jump into them. Or just spin around the point so that you can contest. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with him. Like, he's a very versatile with how you run him. Like, if you're getting in their backline, being a pain in the butt, constantly making yourself a distraction so that there's another thing for them to worry about, that's good. So yeah, those, and I guess main tank's really Reinhardt. He's just his Reinhardt. Basically, all he does is like he has Fire Strike, which can take out Tired. Basically, it has like extra damage for him. His shield, which gets melt by Bastion all the time. And yeah, but like really, it's kind of like a consistent shield. You do not want it to break though, because once it's broken, you can't really shield yourself anymore, and it takes longer to get it back. You have Orisa, her shield's terrible basically. And what you're able to do is like she can grab people and kind of boop them off the map, and also the fortify so she can't get picked up, booped, or anything. You have, God, what else? Oh, you also have, oh, I already said one. Sigma. What he's able to do is he can also eat Zarya's ult, Mei's ult, and and Pulse Bomb, and Tracer's ult. He's also able to do that. And basically, like, his shield is, like, deployable. He has, like, the kinetic... He has his, He has a, accretion, which can slam people to stop them from being able to move and all that type of stuff. It's like a CC more thing. Like, if you have a Reaper, you can boop him away and he won't have his ult anymore. If you have Moira, you can do that instead of wasting an EMP or something like that. But yeah. And he also has Orisa's ultimate supercharger, Bongos, which basically gives you a lot. It's basically like a mercy pocket, basically, and it kind of gives you more damage to have more of an advantage in the fight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm thinking about doing more about talking about DPS and the different characters you can play, and talk about the healers and what they do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day and goodbye.